Hello, everybody, and welcome in to what I think will be a very uplifting edition of the Stadium Experience with Jake Elmsley. I've got Jordan Moment here alongside me, and before we get into anything else, before we get into thoughts about what happened, feelings about what happened, let's acknowledge it was fun to have football back. Jordan, would you agree?
It was very fun. It was a very, very fun Saturday and Sunday of football.
You know, it was my birthday this weekend.
It was also Fraser Crane Day.
It was also Fraser Crane Day. It's true. Falls on my birthday. Very notable holiday.
And nothing else happened on September 11th.
Nope, nothing else happened. And, we watched some football.
Except for Jay-Z releasing The Blueprint.
Great album. And you came down to Providence. We watched some football. We had a good time. I wrote into the rundown here to talk positives before anything else. I think that's an important thing to do. And, did the Patriots play a game of football on Sunday? Yes.
They showed up.
Did it not look particularly good? Yes. Do I have very long and detailed thoughts on all the things that didn't go well that at the very least Jordan is going to have to sit here and listen to? Yes. But again, let's start with the positives. From the Patriots, 20-7 annual week 1 loss in Miami against the Miami Dolphins. So positive takeaways, which we will open with again, because I don't want anybody to think I'm just a hater.
All right, leading with love.
Leading with love. Leading with love. Get him in here. Wrap him in before you show your true colors. First thing, defense looked pretty good. We were worried about before the offseason started, we were worried about the defense. Then the offseason started, and everything surrounding the offense has seemed like a toxic cesspool. And then the game started and ended, and the offense and everything following the game has made the offense still appear to be a weird toxic cesspool of incompetence. But we're not talking about negatives yet, Jordan. We're not taking negatives yet. Defense looked pretty good. Regardless of, how the game went, regardless of the story of the game, only letting up 13 points, only letting up 1 touchdown. Pretty good. A pretty good performance by him. Remember, Dolphins scored a touchdown on defense. Scored a touchdown on defense. So Patriots defense only let up 13 points. I think everything looked pretty good. Tyreek Hill had some receptions. He ended with about 94 yards. Didn't destroy them like we were a little bit afraid he might. Tyreek Hill was making plays, but he wasn't, running all over the place. Relatively.
He was kind of.
Yeah, he was making plays, but that's the number 1 reception. That's fine. Like, if we ended the game, we're like, yeah, Tyreek Hill will have like 8 receptions, 90-something yards, no touchdowns. I take that. I take that every day of the week. That's relatively contained for a guy like him. Fine. There was one really, really bad defensive play, and that was a 4th and 7 play to Jalen Waddle, where everybody in the secondary somehow collided with each other, and he ran into a touchdown. But that was okay, because I have Jalen Waddle in fantasy. So that was fine. But other than that, genuinely, defense looks pretty good. Matt Judon had a really good game. He had 4 QB hits and a sack. Dietrich Wise had a sack, bunch of QB hits. Jawan Bentley looked pretty good. Jawan Bentley was kind of all over the place. He was kind of playing in the middle, shifting to the edge. He's kind of taking over Dante Hightower's old role, it seems like. He looked pretty good. Again, Tyreek Hill was getting receptions. But again, secondary held up as well as you could have expected. I didn't think they were ever going to lock anybody down. So you know what? Thumbs up to the defense. Defense did okay. They were getting the Patriots opportunities. In the end, the Patriots, the Dolphins, I don't think they scored after midway through the 3rd quarter. And it's not as though the Dolphins went into just running the ball, trying to milk the clock mode. Like maybe they should have. They were actively trying to throw the ball all over the place. And that's something I want to talk about later. But, defense did okay. So we'll put that out there, Defense looked okay. Now, mind you, they looked okay against Tua Tagovailoa, whom I just feel the need to reiterate to everybody who did not watch this game, anybody who, because this is not even me calling anybody a bad fan or me calling anybody anything. You can just only watch so many games. You can only see so many quarterbacks on a given Sunday in a given season. Fine. Tua Tagovailoa, somebody who, generally speaking, you look at his numbers, looks pretty good. Last season, besides the counting stats like being lower because he only played 13 games, almost identical numbers to Mac Jones. Actually, it's almost uncanny. This week went 23 for 33, 270, a touchdown. Those are pretty good sounding numbers. However, as I told Jordan last week, if you watch Tua Tagovailoa, my lord, is he terrible. My God. Like, I will put it this way, Jordan. And I thought of a lot of ways to try and figure out the best way to explain this. 23 of 33. Very good. That's like almost 70% completion. Might be 70+% completion. Not positive. Didn't do the math. Those 10 incompletions. Every incompletion for Tua was like a disaster waiting to happen. Is that not an unfair way to characterize it, Jordan?
Yeah, for the most part, that wouldn't be a terrible hype. That wouldn't be hyperbolic.
It's almost every incompletion is either a hospital ball, him throwing the ball away as he gets dragged down from a sack he had no business not recognizing and just yucks it straight at the ground and really just kind of gets the benefit of the doubt, and it's called an incomplete pass instead of a fumble, or just like a ball going right through the hands of a defender. Every single one. I think what the dude get sacked standing completely upright like twice. Like unreal. Unreal how bad Tua is. Also, by the way, though, Tua 4-0 against the Patriots in his career. 4-0. Again, I'm completely out on the guy. I was willing to give it one more year after that. After like this one game, I'm completely out on the guy from the Dolphins. I'm looking for something new at quarterback. I don't know who their backup. Oh, they have Teddy Bridgewater as their backup right now. That's probably not any better. But Tua, very, very bad. Not good at football. Patriots could not capitalize it at all, by the way. As much as I'm praising the defense for holding up, and they did hold up, the Dolphins not very careful with the football. It felt like balls were getting knocked out left and right, and they were just kind of getting lucky on that front. In terms of the Patriots not converting anything to turnovers, again, Tua just getting knocked down every time he was getting sacked, just kind of throwing the ball. Like, everything looks bad. Again, you look at Tua's numbers, they look great. You watch Tua play. Jordan, did I not get you to finally come around to the Tua's terrible thing on Sunday?
He sort of he has no awareness about anything that happens to the right of him.
Exactly, and it's one of those players who you look at the number, and I say this about most quarterbacks, because most quarterbacks' numbers look fine. Just because of the way the game is played now, the way the rules work. Everybody's passing numbers are inflated. Everybody looks fine. Which is why I hate comparing quarterbacks' numbers, because it's almost meaningless. But you watch like a half a Tua play, and you're like, this guy, what, are they going to teach him awareness? Like, it's year 3. If he's not aware now, he's not going to get aware. Yeah, terrible. Mike McDaniels, new coach of the Dolphins, wasn't that impressed with him either. I gotta be honest, Jordan. If anything, the most basic thing were me and you not like yelling at them, just start running the ball like at the start of the fourth quarter.
I did, yes. I said many times, why are you throwing the ball?
You're
going to sell the game.
Which is such a small thing, but it always drives me insane when coaches don't do that. Like, when coaches don't do that, it's like, that is like purely like, that's like a Shanahan thing, I think.
100%.
Like, it's like all these like offensive, like whenever I see these like these new age, like young offensive coordinator coaches, like all these Sean McVay clones running around, like most of them do it. I don't know if it's like an arrogance thing. They want to just show how cool their offense is. They just don't have the actual, like, they're very smart, they're very good football minds, but they don't have, like, the awareness to just, like, play situational football, like, just do the boring things. Like, the only explanation I can think of is, like, maybe you're like, well, it's week 1, we're trying to get this new offense, we want to just, like, get Tua, like, going, and the only way we're going to get him going is he just starts, like, making some plays. But even then, that's not a good reason. So Mike McDaniels, not that impressed. Which is I'm doing all this to bring it all back around, by the way. This is not just Jake wants to sit here and make fun of the Dolphins. I even got more things about the Dolphins. I got some Tyreek Hill takes. Not even worth going into them. And the main take is, I don't even get why you invest so much in bringing in a receiver if your quarterback sucks at this point. I'm coming around on that. What's even the point of paying him $25 million a year and investing 5 draft picks in a guy? It's like, the metaphor I choose to use, it's like buying a Ferrari for your grandma. Like, why waste the money? Buy her like one of those nice Crown Victoria old cop car looking cars and then get her like a chef or something she'll actually use instead. But this is all to say that the Dolphins, genuinely, a team I still don't love. I still don't understand people's hype with them, mainly because I think the quarterback sucks. But a team I don't see it with at all. Which is to say, not impressed by their quarterback, not impressed by their coach, and they still not doing anything I really found that impressive at all. Still, you could not get out of your own way and beat them. The Patriots could not get out of their own way and do anything on offense. Which, by the way, for the record, this is the way the positivity session has ended. Unless Jordan, you have any more positives to say about Sunday before we move out of the positivity section of the program?
I had zero positives.
Jake Bailey had some pretty good punts.
Jake Bailey.
What'd you say?
Said yeah, we're his number one fans.
Jake Bailey, pretty good punts going on there. Punt unit looked better. Last year the punt unit was a problem. So now that the positivity is over, the way that I have chosen to present my thoughts, Jordan, I am relying on you to kind of be here with me, be along for the ride on this. I've kind of chosen to examine what the Patriots did wrong in this game, like the things that really fouled them on offense. It's mainly the offense, through the prism of probably the 2 biggest plays in the game, everything behind them. And this is an approach I just want to test. I want to try this out, Jordan, so bear with me. And that is through, I want to break down the interception on the first drive and the strip sack touchdown where the Patriots allowed as many points on offense to the Dolphins as they scored on offense in the game itself. So, on the first drive, to remind everybody, first drive, 1st and 10 from about the Miami 22. Mac Jones gets the ball snapped, looks around, doesn't make many reads, and just heaves a jump ball, which is something they did a lot in this game. They had a lot of it in this game. Heaves a jump ball right up to Devontae Parker, who's being covered by one Mr. Xavier Howard. I don't believe the two had ever met before, Xavier Howard and Devontae Parker. But heaves the ball up to him, gets intercepted, and that first drive was probably their best drive of the entire game. Notwithstanding maybe the drive where they actually scored on, but still, first drive, Jordan, me and you were watching it. We saw those first couple plays. They picked up some first downs. We were both sitting there, and for a minute, I was like, oh, maybe they got it together. Talked about that last week. Like, maybe there's a chance they come into Miami. They've had a week to kind of get things down. Maybe they just do some little things. They can put out like a representative offense. We thought, oh, maybe this looks pretty good. Remember that, Jordan? Remember we had like a quick fleeting moment there?
They did look very good. They were running the ball well. Mac Jones was making some very good high percentage completions.
Exactly.
And then he didn't.
And then you get down into the red zone. Well, not the red zone. 22. Not the red zone. But they get down there and just, again, heaves a jump ball, which we get into all the jump ball stuff later. Heaves a jump ball right up to Devontae Parker, covered by Xavier Howard, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and it gets intercepted. And I've decided that which to me feels like a baffling decision. And to me, I've thought there are 4 main reasons for why this play could have happened. If you'll bear with me here. A, Mac Jones just made a poor decision. Mac Jones made a poor decision. He just saw it. He did it. Threw it up there. Thought he'd get it. Don't know why you would. I mean, I like Devontae Parker. I think Devontae Parker is a good addition. But, he's not the same caliber of wide receiver that, Xavier Howard is a corner. But throws it right up there. Devontae Parker wearing the Patriots number 1, which in the last couple seasons has just been a real legacy number for the Patriots, worn by luminaries such as Cam Newton and N'Keal Harry. Which, in my opinion, seeing him in number 1 makes me think Devontae Parker might be doomed from the start, but does that. Poor decision. Second thought. The decision also poor. You look at the play. Jonnu Smith is wide open. Pretty much wide open. He's wide open in the flats. Again, this was a 1st and 10. They didn't have to even have this play. Jonnu Smith, wide open. Gets open. So the second way you can maybe look at it, is Mac Jones, because the Patriots ran a lot of 2 tight end sets in this game, right? It was like their base offense basically for the entirety of this game. It was base offense was 2 tight ends. You had Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry on the field at all times. Devontae Parker played every snap in this game. And then they were kind of rotating around Aguilar and Jacoby Myers, Jacoby Myers, another positive. Jacoby Myers had a pretty good game. Jacoby Myers made some pretty good catches, I got to tell you. He had some pretty good contested receptions in there. Got to tell you, Jacoby Myers.
Now that you're listing the Patriots receivers, I seem to notice that you're forgetting to name one of them.
We'll get into that, Jordan. Oh, trust me, you're more clued into this than I thought you'd even be, honestly. But all right, so you see it. The second potential explanation. You get to this play. Jonnu Smith, open. However, Jonnu Smith, last season, lot of problems hanging on to the football. When he gets the ball in his hands, Jonnu Smith is a very dynamic player. Very athletic, very explosive, gets some yak, good runner with the ball in his hands. You had a couple plays like that in this game, even were able to get him the ball, and he'd break a tackle or 2. Problem is, last year, I don't know what it was. It seemed like he didn't know the offense, had no idea where he was going. A lot of times get the ball, would knock it up like he just wasn't ready. Or just wasn't running the right routes. Does Mac Jones have a lack of faith in Jonnu Smith from that, and thusly doesn't want to go to him even when he is open? That, not very good. That, concerning. If that's an idea, because obviously you do not want your quarterback just icing out one guy on the field, because that is not conducive to your offense. Third is to continue adding layers to this. Possibly, as you mentioned, Jordan, very astutely mentioned, one Patriots receiver, not on the field very much, and that was their number 1 receiver last year, who I think is the best receiver on this roster, one Mr. Kendrick Bourne, who only played 2 snaps this entire game. Now, we've talked about Bourne a decent amount. Bourne did not have a great camp. Bourne did not have a great preseason. However, for him to not be on the field, you would think there is something more at work. And since this game has happened, there's been reporting from Tom Curran, there's been reporting from Alex Barth, there's been reporting all over the place that there is some kind of beef with Kendrick Bourne, with Matt Patricia, maybe the coaching staff at large. They haven't liked the way he's conducted himself. There's something about him being in meetings. Not positive stuff coming out. What?
So they're punishing Kendrick Bourne for not respecting Joe Judge and Matt Patricia.
It's possible they might be punishing him for not respecting Joe Judge and Matt, or at least a perceived lack of disrespect from Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, or the offensive system as a whole, or whatever.
Kendrick Bourne asked the dreaded question, why should we listen to you? And that they just threw him in the doghouse.
Now, maybe. Which, by the way, if that's actually what he did, you can't be doing that either. I understand that. I doubt it was something so severe. You can't have that on a team. That I get. You got to respect it to some degree. I doubt he literally said, you guys are mid, why am I listening to you? But, they're saying
right. He's right to ask that.
You gotta all pull in one direction at some point. But
that's
however,
the $1 million question.
I would doubt it would be if it's that extreme. I'm like, all right, I get why maybe Belichick's got to be like, listen, like you can't be doing that. But if it was something like they're in a meeting, they're talking about, which is what I read the report, something about a meeting, they talk about implementing the system. Matt Patricia says one thing, Kendrick Bourne says another. He's like, well, we're trying to implement this like San Francisco-esque system. I was on that team a year ago. This is maybe how we would look at it there. And is Matt Patricia, who was a noted hardo while with the Lions, one of the things, not players did not seem to love him with the Lions, if you remember those days, doesn't take too kindly to it. Which, again, we'll never know the exact... Well, maybe we will, because stuff is leaking out. Actually, no, if they keep losing, we'll absolutely find out, because somebody will tell... That's one good thing about the team losing, is you actually hear things, because people are mad and telling people things. But, you know, it's... Whatever. A lot in the tone there, you know? A lot of the story might be in the tone of how whatever slight came across, but you get that. Then there's a few issues in camp, and then they just, you know, they perceive it as disrespect, and they just bury the guy. Because routinely, the Patriots, that's genuinely how they've operated. Belichick has genuinely operated with, like, pretty low tolerance for players kind of not respecting coaches, not listening to coaches, not kind of buying into the whole thing, right? Which, generally, good. You kind of want that. However, that's easier to do when you're a much better team, when you have the talent, when you have the quarterback, when you can kind of afford to not have your most talented version of your team on the field and still be able to win. Which, again, you can do when you have a Tom Brady. However, this team might need a Kendrick Bourne a little bit more. And Mac Jones, seemingly, good relationship with Kendrick Bourne. They hung out in the offseason a bunch. They worked out a bunch. I think he was at his house for the draft. They're buddy. He was his number one receiver last year. Kendrick Bourne was great last year relative to what he was. You know, they're buddies. They're good pals. They're buddies. Do you get situation like this? Kendrick Bourne isn't on the field. Jonnu Smith's on there. They're doing all this 2 tight end stuff, which, again, I don't even blame them for doing a lot of the 2 tight end stuff. I don't think that's inherently a bad idea. They didn't do a ton of it last year, even though they went and signed the 2 top tight ends in free agency, and they wouldn't put them on the field together. Fine. Makes sense. But does, you know, Mac Jones see a Jonnu Smith kind of open? And then it's a combination of, I don't trust this guy. Also, the guy I do trust, my favorite weapon in this offense, not on the field because he hurt Matt Patricia's feelings. I'm not going to throw to him. I don't want to throw to Jonnu Smith. I don't want him out here. I'm just going to force it to Devontae. But they want Devontae Parker out here. You listen to Matt Groh after they traded for Devontae Parker. Matt Patricia wanted Devontae Parker. He wanted Devontae Parker bad. That was his thing. Fine, I'll throw it to him. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, look, couldn't do it. Can't beat him. What a surprise. Or, that's scenario number 3. Scenario number 4. Is this purely just a Patricia thing? Which, again, I was just explaining it. Devontae Parker's Patricia's guy. We read the reports in the offseason that some people were saying that they were kind of maybe taking some power or just taking some of the load off of some of the pre-snap stuff off of Mac Jones's plate, some of the decision-making, which to me is a ludicrous thing to do because most of the good things about Mac Jones, most of Mac Jones's good traits come in his decision-making, his acumen, all that. It's certainly the good things of Mac Jones are not his ability to, run around when a play breaks down, all that. He's a heady quarterback. He's one of them thinking quarterbacks. So, thusly, if you take some of that decision-making power away from him, it kind of feels like, okay, what's the point of Mac Jones? But I digress. They say that. Was this just, they get down there? Matt Patricia, I don't know, wants to prove the haters wrong? Wants to show that this Devontae Parker thing was a good idea? And just gets down there and is like, and just tells it, because really, like, Mac does not really look like he even goes through his progressions on this play, Jordan. Which I don't know if you've, like, rewatched the play. I linked it in the rundown. But Mac just gets the ball. Did he just tell him? Was he just right in the ear, like, all right, Mac, on this play, we're just going right to him. Just gonna get the snap, we're gonna look around, and if he's got any kind of chance, just throw it right up for Devontae. That's the plan. Don't go through anything else. That's it. That's what we're doing. And, I wouldn't call that imaginative. And, yeah, is Matt Patricia like, I want to take a shot here, yada, 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 which, again, I'll acknowledge in fairness, Xavier Howard kind of hooks him a little bit. But I care so much less about this than everything else I'm talking about. And, I don't know. I look at it and it's this interesting prism. Just kind of talk about all these things. Because the Kendrick Bourne stuff is real. Like that. This is not like drama alert. Me trying to make stuff out of nothing. He didn't play. Which, by the way, you want to continue to talk about Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne maybe having a little bit of a bone to pick with the rest of the team. Jordan, what did Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne do the first snap where they finally put him in like late in the fourth quarter?
They made was it like a 24, 25 yard pass?
About a
like
40-yard pass.
Oh, it was 40. Oh, yeah, it was 40. It's a lot more than that.
41. Literally.
Oh, yeah, I remember the play.
First snap they put him in the game, Mac just goes right over the top to him. Immediately. Like, first play, first read, just quick hits him. Which, I don't know, Jordan. Everything I'm reading, is it unfair to look at that and go, they put him in the game, and they're like, let's just show these MFers, like, what are they doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, God bless Jacoby Myers, made some great contested catches. Probably exactly what Mac Jones said. Like, yeah, I know Jake Elmsley thinks that Jonnu Smith, is important to unlock for this offense, but my God, your number one guy last year doesn't play a snap? And then they put him in. They do that. He played like one more snap, and they pulled him again. They took him out. He didn't see the field.
Remember when I told you they're sabotaging Mac Jones?
They might be. No, like, I understand your I don't think they're intentionally sabotaging him. There's some stupid people overseeing his development. But they put him out there, and they do this. And by the way, then you want more of this? Next day after Tom Curran has Robert Kraft telling him, we got to put Kendrick Bourne in more. Why is Kendrick Bourne not playing? Which is not a good thing, Jordan. By the way, that news article. Not a good thing. Because when, in the entire length we've been alive, has been this Patriots-Belichick thing. When has Robert Kraft ever had, like, a depth chart, said something about, like, the way the depth chart shakes out? Because I generally, Jordan, don't think it's a good thing when owners are coming in and being like, hey, like, why isn't this guy playing over this guy? Like, the minutia stuff, like, big stuff. Like, really big picture, like, signing a guy to a $300 million contract. Owner could be a little involved in that. Fine, whatever. But, like, it's not a good sign when the owner's like, hey, why is, like, this wide receiver not playing over this wide receiver? That's a little bit weird, isn't it? Not exactly a sign of a functional thing. And, yeah, all I'm saying is, maybe they got a little bit of, maybe some of these problems we've been talking about. We've been speculating some of these interpersonal issues, they might be kind of real. There might be a lot of validity to, like, either, like Mac and some of the boys really mad about the play calling situation. Because the play calling in this game, overall, was not good. Do you want some numbers? You want, like, probably what was, like, the most telling number, at least for me, about just how mismanaged this offense was? What was that?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many play action passes?
Hit me with it.
You know how many play action passes the Patriots attempted in this game?
How many?
2. The entire game.
I was about to say, I don't remember that many.
2, which to me, Jordan, again, well, first to them, something that was foundational for their offense last year. And now to me, you're talking about an offense, which I still think has enough talent to be functional, but not in a way that you can just line these guys up, have them all run their routes, they're all going to beat their man, and you can just go right to them. Like, no. Like, they have talent, but you have to scheme it up, A little bit of trickery. Kind of make some plays so some guys can get open. Design the plays up a certain way. And you think, Jordan, again, what one of those little things you can do to help maybe scheme some guys up open, something that's, seemingly worked for them in the past as of last season, is a little play action, Jordan? But instead of that, of anything, of, like, utilizing these players in, like, ways that, like, they had that one, like, that one bubble screen to Aguilar? It worked pretty good. A fast guy, he got the ball in his hands, he went forward, got like 11 yards. Good little play. Never did it again. Again, the Jonnu Smith stuff, did a little bit of it. Not enough of it. Meanwhile, Jordan, like, how many times in this game was Mac just going, like, jump ball to Hunter Henry, jump ball to Hunter Henry, another jump ball to Devontae Parker, just just right over the top, dude. Like, how many times are we seeing that?
It was an amount of times that was a bit uncomfortable for me.
Exactly. And it's just that's not how this offense could work. Again, like, I'm still a believer that they have enough talent. That's not how they're going to do it. Like, again, they're not going to go straight up over the top and beat guys. That's not going to work. And it's just, like, no play, like, no motion. I think they had, like, one legitimate, like, pre-snap motion on this team. Like, none of it.
And then they got called for it.
Exactly.
Because one of the linemen wasn't set.
Yeah, something like that. Like, just none of it. Like, none of that, or like the play where Mac Jones got bisected. They got offsetting penalties on it.
Yeah, that was insane.
But it's just none of it. Like, you don't think about how important play calling is until you see bad play calling. Like, you're like, oh, maybe we're making too much of the play calling. Then you see bad play calling. You're like, no, football is truly like the film of sports. Collaborative in every... Ooh, that's a good metaphor, Joe. I'm gonna keep that one. It's the film of sports, Jordan. Collaborative in every aspect. And it's just like they weren't running the ball when you felt like they should be running the ball. They weren't passing when you felt like they should be passing. Just nothing worked except for Ty Montgomery's fun little somersault. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it when Ty Montgomery caught the ball on like the 2-yard line and then just rolled over into the end zone. He's on IR now, by the way. He's hurt, so that's... Well, he was supposed to
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he's on IR now. Well, we talked about it last week. I thought he was going on IR after he made the 53-man. I was surprised he even played this week. Remember he got hurt in the preseason?
Oh, yeah. I feel like we rehashed this before. Like,
no, we did. But then he played. Nobody thought he was going to play. He played 21 snaps. Like, he legitimately played. Like, he was in the game. Like, he got some work. Like, he got some carry. He got a couple carries. He had, like, 3 receptions. Like, he didn't put up numbers, but, like, he just... Oh, he's on IR now. Like, I don't know what that was. He just was really like, no, guys, like, I can take it. And then he's like, oh, okay, maybe not. Did that, though. That was pretty fun. The little spin. Like, this little roll. Like, he was going down a hill. A nice sunny afternoon. But, like, they did none of the things that they need to do. Like, they just did everything bad. Everything they did on offense was bad. It's as bad as we thought it could possibly be. Like, and even then, I still kind of in my brain was like, well, like, come on. Like, it's not that hard to get right. Like, it can't be that hard to do it in a way that's representative. And I was wrong. So you had that play. You had the interception, which, again, I just think, like, you just can... I don't know if I'm going too deep on it, but I just feel like that play alone, you can just keep peeling back the layers. And just it's like a great jumping off point for like everything that they did wrong in this game. Or everything that's going on wrong with this team behind the scenes. Because again, I don't know, man, like the owner thing is so bad. Like I don't think Robert Kraft is wrong. But again, Jordan, like whenever do you see like the owner stepping in like a team and you're like that seems like an indicative of a functional situation. This is good. This is good. I like this. This is helpful.
I mean, how much Cowboys copium do you want right now?
Exactly. Like, he's right. Why the hell is Kendrick Bourne not playing? It's just, oh, man. Like, if they're, like, are they beef? Like, are Belichick and Kraft beefing now? Which, by the way, I think they've been beefing for years, by the way, but that's besides the point. Like, don't make it so obvious. Like, make me read between the lines a little more. Come on, make it a little hard for me. But my God, like, just, you got that, and again, and then the other one, little bit less. I don't have like a 4-point like I don't have like a 4-point list of theories on this. And then you get the strip sack, which again, the Patriots let up a touchdown on offense and they scored a touchdown on offense. So offense was a net neutral. But you have that. Brandon Jones, because I didn't realize that the Dolphins have at least 2 Joneses in their secondary too. Even though Byron didn't play. Also, do you know who was filling in for Byron Jones?
Who was filling in for Byron Jones?
I don't know. The Patriots never tested him. They kept throwing to Xavier Howard for some reason. Whom I would say is quite a good quarterback, Jordan. And I'm saying hypothetically, I think had a good matchup against Devontae Parker. I don't know why I'd think that. It's also just fun trivia fact that they were on the same team last year, and the Dolphins literally had to stop having Xavier Howard cover Devontae Parker in practice because they, quote, wanted Devontae Parker to get his confidence up. But whatever. It tests him in the game anyway. Go right over the top to him. Why not? Come on, week 1, baby. First drive. Let's just hum it right to him. It'll be fine. Anyway, Brandon Jones comes in. Watch. Okay, if you look at the play, I'm not positive exactly whose assignment that was. Because on the left side, yeah, James Fournette's, because I guess they were rotating out Cole Strange, by the way. Which I didn't realize during the game. I found out after the fact. They were rotating out kind of Cole Strange and Isaiah Wynn. Which apparently was just to keep them fresh, because I looked at the numbers. Cole Strange had a very good game, Jordan. 26 snaps in pass protection. Not a single pressure allowed. So, man did okay while he was out there. Anyway, though. James Fournette's on the left side. Trent Brown out there with him. Brandon Jones, Hunter Henry was in the area, but he was apparently running a route, so wasn't really on him. He went right by him. We all saw it. He went right by Trent Brown, went right there, sacked back on his blind side, done. Out. Ball in the end zone, touchdown Miami. And it's like, it's not good. I have less on that one, but and then Trent Brown wouldn't talk to anybody after the game. Who, by the way, Trent Brown, who 2 weeks ago was tweeting, "I want to go home," while they were getting ready for a preseason game with the Raiders, and then doesn't talk to anybody after the game, doesn't answer any questions. And then, but don't worry, Jordan. After the game, Belichick came out and he's like, "Well," they asked him about that play, and he said, "Well, we had enough guys out there to block." Which again, Jordan, to me sounds a little sounds a little bit like he's throwing the dudes on the field under the bus a little bit. That's just me, Jordan. When coach says, "Oh, we had enough guys out there to block them,"
they did. It's just that Trent Brown looked inside out, and by the time he looked out, the play was already over.
It came right out of nowhere.
It was already over.
Nobody
had a chance to block him by the time they even noticed he was there.
But I mean, if you go watch the play again, it's a really interesting design, actually, of the blitz. But even then, like that was maybe the one play Miami had. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That was a neat little design. Because again, Miami did nothing impressive to me. Nothing Miami did. I was like, wow. I had Miami made me go, these guys are morons more times than I went, oh, wow, look at that. That was pretty neat. It was a lot of me going Tua's a moron, Mike McDaniels is a moron. Oh God, how are the Patriots losing this badly? Oh God, everything's worse than I thought. Oh, what was I thinking? I said they'd win 17-14. Oh God, I bet money on this game. Oh, what an idiot I am. This is the worst birthday ever. Oh God. But, and by the way, I still think Miami's gonna win 5-6 games max. I have zero faith. But, just again, just nothing. Which, by the way, Jordan, Belichick came out after the game, and you want to hear a classic Belichickism? He came out. He was in rare form, Jordan. He was using his kind of. You remember kind of everything we ever heard from Belichick. He came out and he said the classic Belichick, Belichick way of thinking. Well, if you look at it, we kind of matched them in yardage. Total yardage, we were pretty close to him. Which, again, Jordan, a lot of the time we've always heard Belichick go well, the important thing is match your opponent on raw yardage. That's the thing you want to focus. That's what you want to emphasize.
That's how you win football.
That's how you win football. It's all about yards, babe. It's all about just raw yards. It's maybe they get it together, right? I guess I have some level of confidence that if things are as bad on the inside as they appear right now, that at the very least, at some point, Belichick, who I still believe is a competent, functioning human being, will just take a stranglehold of whatever it is and just try and write it to the best of his ability. But that's got to happen like maybe like tomorrow. Maybe it could have happened yesterday. Cause like my God, like again, this like I didn't think this Patricia thing could be like it's bad that Jordan, me, not a great X's and O's mind, can like watch this game and be like, oh, I know what they're doing wrong play calling wise. That's atrocious if I'm recognizing it. Me, Jordan, I was recognizing it. Like that's bad. How are they this bad? How are they this bad? I'm like, okay, they've never coached offense. I get it. Not a great look, but like they got like of course you have to understand how offense works. Just being an NFL coach, you coach defense. What's defense but understanding offense? I mean, they can't be this bad. Oh no, Jordan, they are this bad. Like it's my God. It's like what? And now you're potentially you've alienated your number one receiver. Like that's obvious. They put him on an island, right? They put Kendrick Bourne on an island, tried to freeze him out, which whatever. It's a thing they've done in the past with dudes who have been malcontents, et cetera, et cetera. Problem is you marooned him on an island. Seems like your quarterback wants to be there with him, which is great. You know, we love the Mac Jones revolt era. And your left tackle doesn't want to be there, which again, Jordan, I'm not a football genius, but I say, you know, if there are people on your offense you don't want to have alienated and not loving where things are, it's probably not your quarterback, number one receiver, and your left tackle. Me personally. Oh, excuse me, you're right. He plays right tackle now. No, he does play left tackle now. Never mind. And your left tackle. Just me. Me personally, Jordan. Don't think those people you want to alien. Just me. I'm a fool. I understand that. But Like, I don't like. Maybe it's just Miami. Maybe they were just looking at TD the Dolphin. Who
that is true. TD the Dolphin can provoke the deepest sorrows in the hearts of men.
Me and Jordan saw TD the Dolphin, the mascot for the Dolphins, for the first time on Sunday, and look him up, please. Right there, if you've never seen him, look him up. He is terrifying.
I've had nightmares since.
I can't blame you. He stared into me. He definitely has at least left like a shred of his soul imprinted on my soul in case he needs me for anything in the future. Like just terrifying stuff. Best thing the Dolphins did, honestly. Most impactful thing the Dolphins did all day was their mascot. But yeah, it's just they didn't do anything good. They didn't do anything good, and I think they all hate each other now. I feel very confident that everybody hates each other, which I don't know. Like, I guess you can't rule out they get it right, because maybe they get it right, but I don't feel good about it. Like, I don't know, Joe. What do you got? You got any other takeaways from this? Any other big notable things from this Dolphins game? Which again, they've lost week 1 to the Dolphins, and I've sounded the alarm before. I know it's happened. It's happened, I know. But it's just, how am I supposed to feel when everything we talked about that could be wrong with this team all offseason, to the letter, everything I talked about. This is for the absolute page. This is for the absolute, like, guys who are still just ultimate Bill We Trust people. Like, how am I supposed to feel when everything I said that could go wrong all offseason, all those things looked atrocious, and here we are. Like, how am I supposed to say? Anyway, Jordan, you regale me with your positivity.
Well, first things first. Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, they have no business in this league. They have no business calling this offense. I don't even really. It's just pure cronyism, because if this was any other industry on earth, you have a run the way those two have had, and you wouldn't be where they're at. It's quite simple. I'll agree with you halfway on the defense looking good. Tua was running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, and he was just flinging it, and there was so many balls that went through the hands of linebackers and safeties and corners. I recall, I haven't seen any highlights since we watched the game, but I know there's at least 4 different dropped interceptions that I can recall.
Again, of those 10, incomplete passes to a throw, every single one was a disaster waiting to happen. That is the best way I can explain it.
And then you have like the nonsense with like the safety, and then Tua just not checking down and damn near intentional grounding, and just letting the ball go wherever he wants it to go. The left-handed gunslinger. But the defense played kind of. I'd say they played average.
Oh sure, I was just
they didn't necessarily put the clamps on a kind of lackluster offensive talent, which sort of worries me. Not necessarily going into Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, that Lord knows that Bengals game was
something special.
That you'll never see one of those again.
Oh sure,
That was a force of nature. But other teams going forward, if they're doing that against the Dolphins, what about
Oh sure. I just more saying
the Charger, Chiefs.
I just more saying it's like in the end, like if you only let up like 13 points like an NFL game, like it's good. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, should have held them to only 7. Like no, like they put the offense well in position to win. Like again, like you go to they did not. The Dolphins, I don't believe, scored after the third quarter. Like halfway through the third quarter, they only had 3 points in the second half. Like the Patriots had 1, 2, 3 different possessions. All those ended with fumbles, punts, like the Aguilar fumble, which was just inexplicable.
It's kind of the wagon pulling the horses.
Yes.
The Dolphins were in scoring range, field goal range many times.
Yeah.
In terms of the Dolphins were in scoring positions a lot more often than sort of shows on the stat sheet and their final score. In terms of making, the Dolphins, they were pretty much driving the ball at will whenever Tua wasn't trying to throw the game away.
I think that mischaracterizes it a little. I think it's a little bit extreme. It's just, again, like they beat who was in front. If they play defense like that in every game, you know what? It's fine. If you have an offense that could literally just score one other touchdown, they scored one more touchdown. Don't fumble the ball in the end zone. They win. God, I'm so mad. This game is so infuriating. It's like the more I think about it, the more infuriating this game is. It's incredible. It's incredible.
The Patriots did not look like a good team.
No, of course they didn't.
Very many games playing like that.
No, it's like now
their schedule doesn't necessarily get easier from here. I mean, the Steelers, I don't know.
Who looked better than I would have thought.
That was like the flukiest of all fluke wins against the Bengals. But Mitch Trubisky didn't throw his usual 3 interceptions, so maybe they got something there.
Yeah.
But this Patriots team is not going far. They continue on this path.
I can't.
Average, above average, good defense or not.
TJ Watt's not going to be playing.
Yeah, TJ Watt tore his pec, but
Najee Harris might not be playing.
You still have Micah and all their linebackers.
Some old Patriots inexplicable injury luck might be kicking in here. They got that. Jordan, I said if they went 2-0, I wasn't gonna change my stance on how I felt about this team all that much. I don't even care if they can beat the Steelers. Maybe they can. I don't know. Now I don't know, though. I feel way worse about it now because I'm like, well, I just thought they'd at least, worst case scenario, just come out and just call, an uninspiring but, competent offensive game plan. They can't even do that. How do you call 2-play action? I can't get over that. How do you spend the whole offseason and be like, oh, we're going to do all this, West Coast stuff, this whole Shanahan thing, we have all these zone runs, we're going to do all this motion, and then do none of it? And then also do nothing that you did that worked for you last season either. Oh my God, I
have the answer for you.
Oh, what is it?
Joe Judge and Matt Patricia cannot coach. They can't run the system from last year, and they for damn sure can't install whatever Kyle Shanahan failed to produce against the Bears in the Ark Bowl.
But it's
they're incompetent of doing either.
It's
a downgrade on all sides.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I just assumed. It can't be I will not often say that I could do better. I very rarely will say that. I genuinely feel like I could have done better. Like, I genuinely feel like me and you, Jordan, we could have called a better game.
Yeah, I've seen high school offenses with better complexity than the Patriots showed on Sunday.
Like, my guy, I think at least me and you could have been like, all right, Mac, just kind of let him have Devontae Parker. Just let's not. Their number 2 quarterback's hurt. Let's just not worry about testing Xavier Howard. What do we care? What, God bless him. He gets to lock him down. God.
And for a brief second, I thought they were just going to run because their running game was seemingly pretty effective.
And then they did it.
Half. They were getting 6, 7,
yeah.
5
Damian
yards
Harris,
a pop.
9 carries, 48 yards, 5.3 yards per carry.
I thought they were just going to do that. They're just going to run in short, pass him to death, but no,
they did it.
They didn't really do that.
Again, they did it. That's what I thought they'd do. Worse to worse is why I still felt like I could pick them in this game. I'm like, well, you know what? They'll just run the ball. They'll do some short little action. It'll be boring. It won't be interesting. But there's a path to this working. And then nope, no running. Just throwing jump ball after jump ball to Hunter Henry. We need you to leap over a guy like your prime grunt. Oh, by the way, also whenever they had a linebacker on Hunter Henry, somehow not going to the tight ends, even though again they wanted to run 2 tight end sets the whole game, which I don't hate. But then they weren't having them run block. I barely remember seeing Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry run block in this game, and yet you're also not using them as mismatches. I don't. Why do anything?
They're missing N'Keal Harry in that sense.
I guess.
Their run blocking has been inadequate without N'Keal.
You have your 2 tight ends in the whole game. They're barely blocking, and they collectively get targeted 7 times.
That's production.
And it's just. That's
utilization that will make even the most hard-hearted caveman from 1970 football.
Oh, exactly.
Proud.
It's just okay, so we're not using the tight ends. We're not utilizing your best receiver from last year. You're not utilizing the running game. But, which also, by the way, I want to sit here and be like, well, obviously, Matt Patricia, he has this big heart on for Devontae Parker. That's why he played every snap. Only got targeted twice. Was just in the game doing cardio. Just a workout for him today. Just a track workout for Devontae Parker. 2 targets. One was the interception. The other one was a nifty little 9-yard grab. Jacoby Myers had a good game. Again, Jacoby Myers looked pretty good. God bless Jacoby Myers. He played pretty good. I think it was one of the best games I've seen him play. I'll give Jacoby Myers some love. But it's they just
Bills are going to eat them alive.
Oh my God, how can you not think they will, right? It's just oh my God, it's going
to be so bad.
Oh my God, it's they did nothing. Mac Jones didn't get hit that much. I guess as much one of the most pivotal plays was Mac Jones getting blindsided. Otherwise, didn't get touched that much. Got bisected that one time. Got strip sacked. Otherwise,
the fact that was an offsetting penalty is insane.
Hilarious, unbelievable. Again, they couldn't even get They couldn't even get have gross acts of violence committed on them correctly.
Dude got high load and tossed around.
And they just repeated the down. It's of course. Well, I can't even have that. Can't even let the Dolphins' incompetence help you. You've sunk so far, you can't take advantage of the Dolphins trying to hand you the game. Oh my God, you can't take advantage of Mike McDaniels, who again I said last week, I don't trust their quarterback, I don't trust their coach. That's why I don't feel bad picking against them. And I still feel like I was right to feel that way. Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I had the Dolphins winning 24-17.
Oh, sure you did, absolutely. Oh, I can't blame you.
I thought the Patriots would do a lot better than what they did.
Oh my God, there was nothing. Oh my God, they did nothing good besides play defense. Pretty good. Jake Bailey, pretty good. Pretty good punts in this game, I gotta tell you. Punt unit, much improved from last year. That's why I wanted them to bring Joe Judge back. I thought he'd be able to get the punt unit back in shape. Nope, he's just the assistant offensive coordinator. Oh, why not? Yeah, okay. Close enough. Yeah, it's a difference. Same thing. By the way, your one player who scored a touchdown, he's on IR. So, that's fun. Nick Folk didn't have to do much. Good for him. Only had to go out there a couple times, do a couple kickoffs. No, actually, only had to fucking kick the ball off twice. Like, my God. All right, so that was fun. Otherwise, very fun NFL Sunday. Unironically, very fun slate of games on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I gotta tell you, seemed like every game, mostly because most of them devolved into like weird incompetence or a monsoon. Very fun though. Very good. I mean, Bills-Rams. Bills smoked them.
Football game.
We talked last week about how all the reasons I don't feel great about the Rams this year. We talked the Matt Stafford injury.
I did the exact same thing last year, and they won the Super Bowl.
I know. I get it. The Stafford injury stuff might be real. Eagles, Lions. I had the Eagles defense in fantasy. Thank God I scored a touchdown. I would have lost by. I actually got smoked in fantasy this week. Didn't matter. Lions, baby.
Lions almost won. They were scrappy.
Yeah, that's every game. I'm telling you, they're scrappy. They stay in it. They play to the exact level of losing by 3 points to their competition, no matter who the competition is.
It's uncanny.
They play right below the level of their competition. Perfect tanking team. 14 fourth quarter points, not enough, but they're in it. How can you not love it? How can you not enjoy it?
Let me tell you, you hammer that Detroit under every time you can.
Like, Bears and 49ers was the Monsoon Bowl. Trey Lance looked pretty slick, gotta tell you.
He did not. There's no reason. There's zero reason in the world. No reason that team should lose to the Chicago Bears.
Maybe the Bears are really almost every bad team won or almost won though. I got every team we think sucked had a very good week. Like Steelers won it after one of the gross series of kicking errors. Browns won. I bet on the
blocked
Panthers.
Extra point, a missed 26-yard chip shot, and then a missed 55-yarder.
That was unbelievable. We watched that whole game too. We were right there in it. We were watching that game too. We had our eyes on that.
So I thought Joe Burrow had the walk-off. He had the walk-off touchdown. He led him to the walk-off touchdown.
He did.
I'm like, okay, all you got to do is kick the extra point, and they blocked it. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
Oh God, Texans, my man. I told you about Davis Mills. Let him do a tie.
This is a David Mills podcast now.
Let him do it. Falcons almost won. Falcons, I thought, sucked. They almost won. Ravens just smoked the Jets. Ravens just smoked the Jets. Yeah. Carson Wentz is gonna try and fool another fan base into thinking that he's good, only to fail them when it matters.
Yeah, he'll show his true colors around like week 9, week 10.
Packers got smoked. I have Aaron Rodgers in fantasy. Didn't feel good about that.
Hey, I told you the Vikings, man.
I'm telling you, I believe. I want to believe, Jordan, but I have said
Justin Jefferson. Now he's a bad man.
I believe it. Oddly enough, odd thing, Jordan.
Now that's the most surprising game.
Let me odd thing I've noticed. I'm gonna shush you. Odd thing I noticed. Would you say that the Giants looked competent on Sunday?
I couldn't believe it.
But would you just answer the question, please? I'm cross-examining you right now.
They did, and I was
What was the biggest thing that changed for the Giants? You'd say this past offseason?
Daniel Jones.
No.
Look like garbage.
No. What changed for the Giants?
Their coach.
Oh, and who was their old coach before they started maybe displaying some level of competence?
Now I think I'm starting. I think I know where you're taking us.
Okay, you think so? You think you're starting to see it? This is very complicated, Jordan.
I'm gonna say he's on a team in the AFC East.
Okay. That's tough,
I'm
isn't
gonna
it?
go with the New England Patriots.
Yes, Jordan. Yes, absolutely. Yes. How does he do it? Unbelievable. That's weird, huh? I mean, against a Titans team who I'm very down on, in fairness. A Titans team I'm extremely down on, but gosh darn it helps my narrative, so I'll run with it.
Yeah,
The Joe Judge
Brian
slander
Daboll
narrative
can
is
do
far.
something.
What?
I said maybe Brian Daboll, he can do something.
Maybe just the absence of Joe Judge could do something. You know,
That too.
lot of times, not even that the new guy is good, it's that he's not the old guy. And my God, they looked functional. They looked competent on offense. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, the guy who was leading the old offense is now like your first lieutenant on offense. Isn't that fun? You know, I didn't watch Raiders Chargers. I have no idea how that game went. Cardinals got smoked. Don't like the Cardinals. Wasn't it a double EXP weekend in COD this weekend, Jordan?
Every time I've played COD on PS5, it's been.
I believe it was a double XP weekend, in which weeks it is a double XP weekend. The Cardinals are 4-7.
Hey man, you know, he has to hop on Warzone, grind some Warzone. Gotta go to Verdansk.
Cardinals, another team the Cardinals got smoked. Cardinals got smoked. That like the score
that Chiefs team's a good team.
That score doesn't even show how bad it was. Cardinals had scored 7 going into like Cardinals again. They were down like 30 when I was watching that game. I mean, they put out some garbage time touchdowns at the end, but they were. Trace McSorley got in. There's a song about him. But you ever heard this Trace McSorley song?
No,
it's a song. There's a Trace McSorley song. But
okay.
Like, again, a lot of fun games. A lot of fun things happen. You know, Tom Brady looked pretty good. Looked pretty locked in. Giselle did an interview this weekend with, like, Elle magazine where she said this is her time now. Interesting. Read into that how you... read into that how you will. But, you know, Broncos Seahawks, I don't believe in the Broncos anymore. I've come all the way around. I now think that Nathaniel Hackett is an idiot, and I just can never believe in a team when I think their coach is an idiot.
I watched the highlights of that game.
The highlights don't do it justice. You know, you got about a minute.
Saw Peyton and Eli.
That's 60 seconds.
I was saying I saw Peyton and Eli and Shannon Sharp. They're on like their Monday night show, and Shannon Sharp was losing his mind. He was still drunk from the morning of Undisputed of rubbing his victories into Skip Bayless's face as he collected his like 25 cases of Diet Mountain Dew. It was this.
Yep. Like Nathaniel Hackett doesn't know how to make a decision in the NFL. I guess he's a moron. Oh well, you always like usually when
the Seahawks.
Not even that. You have a minute. What do they have? A minute left. They're on like the 40. They let it run down 30-something seconds. Call the timeout. Kick the field goal. Like
it was 36 seconds.
Nobody knows what's happening.
They had 3 timeouts left. It was 36 seconds, and then instead of
anything, do anything.
Your 100 and how much ever money they're paying Russell Wilson now.
You're like, let's do a 64-yarder. Not even if it was in Mile High, I almost get it. If you're in Denver, and I have Brandon McManus in fantasy too, by the way, who I drafted because I'm like, well, they're in Denver, so we'll be able to kick some long ones. Clearly, I was right because they'll let him take him, Jordan. At least I know they'll let him attempt the long ones.
The Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. That's who we thought sucked. Geno Smith. He didn't. People closed the book on him, but he wasn't. What did he say? I don't remember. What did he say about books?
He said they wrote me off, but I didn't write back.
That's what he said. Geno Smith, best quarterback in football, apparently.
Hey man, if Geno's on a revenge tour, I'm fucking with it.
It's a weird revenge tour, but God bless.
That's a nasty revenge tour.
The I was bad, like I was just bad. And people said I was bad, but now I'm mad about it, I guess. I'm going to go to revenge tour. Like, they booed Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Yeah. That's he made the right choice in leaving.
Yeah, I'm out on the Broncos. I'm out on the Broncos. Like, generally, I don't want to overreact to anything else week 1. Out on the Broncos. Completely out. Nathaniel Hackett should be fired. Genuinely, you're like, okay, you can't be a head coach. You don't.
We'll give him one more game.
No, why? Why?
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he just got pressured. It was Monday night.
They had like four different. You can't be. Week 1 Monday night. Did you make him a stage for him?
Maybe.
That's a problem.
Maybe he just gets nervous.
Bring somebody else in. It's done. It's a wrap. Just another in a long line of guys who was sandwiched between like a good offensive coach and a great quarterback. It just coasted and. Hey, wasn't the guy? Okay, well, fair enough. Dumb, bad, awful, terrible. Yeah, great week 1. Quite enjoyed week 1.
Who's playing tomorrow? The Rams?
Oh, Chargers, Chiefs. It's a good one.
Okay, Chargers, Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, Chargers, Chiefs. That's a good one. Classic AFC West bout. And the Patriots are playing right at 1 p.m. on Fox with Ian Eagle, where they belong. But, we haven't even picked the game. Score predictions, go.
I'll go Steelers.
Okay.
20. I'll pick an ugly score. 25-16.
Oh, my God. You're giving them double-digit points?
I don't know if I should, but like one has to hope.
I mean, like, my God, like, there's so much closer. We gotta have a guest for this, by the way. We apologize. Still trying to get urinating tree on the show, but it's like they're so much closer to the Steelers than I thought they were, or like I really hope they would be, seeing as how they're in like year 3 of their rebuild versus the Steelers, who are in week 2 of their rebuild.
And they already put down one of the best teams in the NFL. Not convincingly.
But no. As unconvincingly as possible, actually. But
in typical Steelers fashion.
God bless. It's like, yeah.
Can't wait for them to lose to the Texans.
I'll go Steelers. I'll go Steelers 13-10. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, probably.
Gonna go low scoring affair, but it's just
You're hammering the under on Sunday.
What?
I said you're hammering the under on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. That's a great under, actually. I might actually do that. Yeah. No, not great. Then the Ravens are coming in the Fox.
You're going to look at 42 and you're going to go, no way.
No way that's the... Let's see what the under is, right? Let's look at it. Let's look at it together. There's no way it's 40. There's no way it's 42. There's no way the line is at 40. That would be... I'm hammering that on... No, the app update available? Oh, God. Oh, God. Hang on. I'm going to go online. Hang on,
we got to call our bookies.
Hang on.
Sportsbook.
Yeah, the Rhode Island Sportsbook. Okay, perfect. Week two. Come on, where is it? 40. Yeah, that's fair. Is that, however, the lowest total of the week? That is the lowest total of the week. So fair enough. They're right in line with it.
All right, well,
I mean, 40, even 40 seems high, but they're making the same point we're making. They don't think they're going to score a lot in this game. Or they want you to think that they think that, so you bet it, and then they somehow win. But it's fine.
Got to put a nice tenner down on that.
Yep, no, Patriots are 2-point favorites in this game.
I kind of don't believe that.
Oh, they're 2-point favorites.
I mean, they're at home, so that...
No, they're in Pittsburgh.
Why, but even...
No, they're in Pittsburgh, Jordan.
I don't believe it then. That's false.
They're in Pittsburgh.
It's false.
Well, bet the Steelers
That's a false narrative.
No, take the cheese then, Jordan. Take the cheese on that. Put your money where your mouth is.
Dang, do I put $5 on the Steelers?
It's minus 110, so you get like $4.50 back.
Dang.
But yeah, no, I might take that. I might legitimately take that under. But that's a gnarly under. But yes, that's fun. Fun week in the NFL, except for if you're a Patriots fan, then it was an atrocious, terrifying mess of a thing.
Or a 49ers fan, because I'm on your head.
Listen, all right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
The slip and slide at Soldier Field.
Hey, the slip and slide bowl was crazy. I drove somebody to the airport today to fly to Chicago. I told him look out for the rain.
Yeah, I don't know. Chicago might just be underwater based on what we saw.
It might be. They got to squeegee the whole city.
I don't know if there's a Chicago left.
What's going to be on Chicago nights?
Luckily for them, all their trains are like overground, so like The train
For
should
now.
still work, but yeah.
Oh yeah, if that was in Boston, oh my God, the T would be sinking. It'd be the submer T. I forgot there wasn't a T in submarine when I went to say that. The T-pedo.
That's good. That's
Thank
good.
you. I think that one. I salvaged that. Yeah, the T-pedo. Just gonna let that one linger for a minute.
You want to talk a little bit of college football?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, college football happened. I watched one game. I don't know how many games you watched. Me and Jordan both, though, together or apart, were digitally connected, as many friends who are torn apart by the realities of life are. We watched Texas, Alabama. Hell of a game, Jordan. That was...
Oh, boy.
That was... Which, by the way, Alabama's ranking has not changed. Alabama's still ranked number 2. Alabama's ranking did not change. They're still number 2. Texas ranked 21st now. If you didn't see it, Texas had it. I gotta tell you, Texas, they had it. Texas was legitimately in that game. Their quarterback, Quinn Ewers, who looked real good. Like the first quarter, he went down. Texas had tied at halftime. Texas was up for a while. Bryce Young kind of got it done in the end there. And then the worst thing I've ever seen happened. And what happened was, and I will, for anybody who did not watch this game, because before this was all in on the Longhorns. I was loving it. I was with it. And then, Jordan, bad coaching decisions usually leave a horrific taste in my mouth. Or maybe it wasn't a coaching decision. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Alabama went up by 1. Yeah, it only went up by 1. It was they kicked they were able to get in there, kick a field goal. Texas defense still held them out of the end zone. Then they also tried icing the kicker, which I thought was stupid, but we'll get into that. So Texas had 2 timeouts. There's a little over 10 seconds on the clock. There was 10 seconds on the clock after the kick. Texas decided to ice the kicker, which I hated. I hated the decision to ice the kicker. It was like a 35-yard field goal for one thing. 2, they were using timeouts they could have maybe used with 10 seconds left. Decided to ice the kicker. Hated it. Hated that decision. I thought that would be the bad decision of the game. Anyway, then immediately after this, on the kickoff, again, let me set the scene. 10 seconds left. Texas, down by 1. 1 timeout. Ball gets kicked in the end zone. It goes deep into the end zone. I'm like, okay. Gonna take this, kneel it down. 10 seconds, 1 timeout on the 25. Like, you need a field goal. Not great odds, but like that you can play. We should have the second timeout. Second timeout, I might feel better. Might be a little bit tight, but whatever. Fine. Dude gets the ball, runs it out of the end zone, cuts down 6 seconds. I'm losing my mind that he's running out this. I thought it was impossible that we would see a kick return in this game. I thought it was impossible. Because why would you? Especially with how deep it went. I thought that ball was going out the back of the end zone. I was surprised when that even got to him. I was confused when he was moving with it for a minute. Goes at the end zone. Now they have 4 seconds left. Only time for one play. They try one little pass. Doesn't go through. I think the guy caught it. Whatever. Game's over. Game's over. And an infuriating decision. What I see zero explanation for. To the point where I was talking to Jordan about it. And he's like, you got to cut the guy. Jordan's like, you just got to cut the guy. To me, my assumption is that in a situation of that magnitude, especially in college, by the way, where guys have even less leeway, I assume that's a coaching decision. The coach is the one who's deciding. Who's saying, hey, run this out or don't run this out under any circumstances. I'm telling the guy. I'm in the headset telling him that, whatever. That feels like a coaching decision. Whether to not run that out. So anyway, I wanted to know. I just had to know. So Jordan, before the show, I listened to the post-game press conference on the Longhorns YouTube. I assumed that would be the first thing they ask him about. Whose decision was that? Was that a you decision? Was that do you have a special teams guy made a decision? Was it the kick returner's decision? Which is insane to leave that up to your third string running back to make that game determinative of a decision. Whatever. Did not ask him about it. At least in what they upload to the YouTube channel. Didn't even come up. Not a word about it. Which to me, malpractice. Journalistic malpractice. Steve Sarkisian sat down, he monologued for like 2.5 minutes about how proud he was of everybody, and then he just asked him more about how proud he was of everybody. And nobody was like, hey, did you tell him to run that out? Like, what was with that? Nobody. Not a soul. And I just sit through 17 minutes of it. So no, I tried, people. So if Steve Sarkisian wants to come on the show and just answer for this, he's more than welcome. But, oh my God, that's my only college take. Also, Notre Dame is rotting in their grave, which I find very funny. But yeah, that's it. Those are all my college football takes from this week. Steve Sarkisian, what were you? I've never, like, ping-ponged. That was an emotional roller coaster, that Texas game. Roller coaster. It was just truly unbelievable, and that's it. Do you have any final takeaways, Jordan?
He was trying to throw that game.
Why though?
He was trying to throw a game.
Why would you?
From like the bootleg rollouts, the 5-step drops against the best or the second best, top 2 best front sevens in the country. It kind of worked, but it got your first string quarterback. He's done for a while, and then the second string guy damn near broke his ankle.
He did. He
really didn't gain much by it. And then you have the infamous running the ball out of the end zone with 10 seconds left. The funniest part about it is that I was about 10-15 seconds ahead of you because I was watching it on YouTube TV, and I immediately started questioning it because my eyes couldn't believe it. Because I saw him kick the ball like 4, 5, 6 yards into the end zone. I'm like, okay, just take the knee. And then he started running forward, and I thought my eyes deceived me. I thought I was just hallucinating, because that was just I couldn't comprehend that a person can be so boneheaded.
No
flesh, no spongy tissue, no cartilage, just bone.
And again, I cannot believe that was the kick returner's decision. I refuse. Normally I can't believe Steve Sarkisian he would tell him to run it out. I can't believe that either. It's unbelievable. Why would you? I need somebody to answer for it. And they had the opportunity, and nobody asked him. It was unbelievable. All week, I've been like, I'm going to watch the press conference. That'll answer my question. I just hadn't had time. Finally, before we sat down to do this, I watched it, and nothing. I'm going to Austin, Jordan. I'm going to go fix things.
That's the greatest mystery of
oh my God! I'm gonna look up newspapers in Austin.
Like move over like JFK's assassination or what happened to the Amelia Earhart move. No. Who told that man to run that ball out the end zone?
Like I
need to know that more than anything else.
Anyway, a lot of other fun games in college football, by the way. Marshall beat Notre Dame. Your Appalachian State Mountaineers, baby. They took out Texas A&M.
The dogs of the Sun Belt, man.
Sun Belt, baby. Sun Belt's a Power 5 in my eyes now. What a week in college football. Genuinely, what a week. Anthony Richardson, I loved him last week. Looked like crap this week. Kentucky really put the screws on him. Kentucky's ranked 9th now.
Ooh.
But they looked real good. So I'm glad. I almost was going to watch that game. I didn't have time to, so I'm almost glad I didn't. But, that's it. That's all I got for this week. It's been a frustrating one. You have any closing takes on anything for the people, Jordan?
Red Sox are still bad.
You know what? Fair enough. Reese McGuire is hitting like 480 right now. It's unbelievable. But solidarity with the rail workers of this country. They're gonna strike soon. It's gonna ruin all of our lives. But don't blame them. Blame the rail companies for not giving him a raise in 10 years. All right, everybody, that's it. Have a good week. Follow me on Twitter at Jake R. Elmsley. Follow True World King on Instagram. That's it. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.